Welcome back. You're still tuned in to Salam Media Highlights with myself, Salalo Makwidiri. And in a bit, we'll be delving into a highly contentious issue surrounding former Johannesburg Mayor Kabelo Gwamanda, who is now threatening legal action after being removed from his position as a Community Development MMC. Gwamanda, who faces charges in connection with the 2011 fraudulent funeral insurance scheme, was dismissed by Joburg Mayor, now Joburg Mayor Dada Morero. His political party, Al Jama, argued that the dismissal was done unilaterally and in bad faith. Gwamanda is also demanding a public apology from Joburg Speaker Nobuhle Mthembu for defamatory comments made about him. And in a bit, we'll be joined by Anisa Mazimpaka, no stranger to Salam Media. She's the former mayor, Gwamanda's spokesperson, and she'll be helping us to explore some of the legalities behind Gwamanda's demands and what this means for due process and political accountability. Anisa, welcome to Salam Media. Always happy to be chatting to you. How are you?
Good afternoon, Salaila. Always happy to be on your platform. I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
Well, thank you. I think let's jump right into it, Anisa. If you can just begin by explaining, Al Jama's position on former Mayor Kabelo Gwamanda's dismissal from the mayoral committee. Why does the party believe it was done in bad faith?
So firstly, I think I just need to just highlight the fact that the papers, if we're now going to dive into, the legal papers that were served as per your introduction, I think it's also important to highlight that Councillor Gwamanda has filed these in his personal capacity. Due to the nature in which the utterances were made. It was made on him as a person, hence the decision to do so. So in terms of the bad faith, I think that's leaning more towards the utterances of the speaker. But I think if we were to delve right into it, when Councillor Gwamanda was placed on special leave by the executive mayor on the 22nd of October, the executive mayor had stated that, he placed him on special leave so that he's able to ventilate, the alleged fraud accusations. And then he then said that he'd establish an ethics committee. And I think to date, Councillor Gwamanda has indicated that there's been no such communication to him about the outcomes of that committee.
One other thing which I know we might be straying a bit off topic, but one thing that's really interesting for me is former Mayor Kabelo Gwamanda demanding an apology and retraction of statements made by Joburg Speaker Nobuhle Mthembu. From a legal standpoint, what right does Gwamanda have regarding these public statements and his reputation?
Right. So the public statements, and I think most of the people would argue that, this is political talk that usually happens in council, where politicians go at each other, willy-nilly. But nonetheless, when you are someone like the speaker and you are duly elected by council to represent all councillors in that house, were impartiality with neutrality, but then you go ahead to other media platforms and you speak about matters. You flout you flout your own rules, of which you are a custodian too. So Councillor Gwamanda is rising basically on the fact that the speaker has broken and breached so many rules, not just constitutionally, but when you look at the standing rules of council, she has flouted more than 5 rules. These rules speak to the code of conduct of councillors. It speaks about when something is currently underway and subjected to an ethics committee, councillors are restricted from interacting with the media so that they do not jeopardize the integrity of the outcomes and the confidentiality and non-disclosure, as well as the breach of council's decorum. So that's basically what Councillor Gwamanda has indicated in the legal papers. Because if we look at the code of conduct, for example, it mandates that councillors should act with integrity and respect each other and refrain from any conduct that could bring the council into disrepute. So through the legal papers, Councillor Gwamanda's legal team believes that outed more than once.
I want to come back to the dismissal process, which you believe that proper procedure was not followed when it comes to the dismissal process of former Mayor Kabelo Gwamanda. Could you maybe elaborate on which legal processes do you believe were violated when ultimately former Mayor Gwamanda was sacked, was removed from his position?
Yeah. And I think we've been trying to really um, try to make the public understand, because what seems to be happening in the headlines that's been going on lean more towards the question that you've also just asked. However, if you go through the legal papers, you'd see that the bulk of it deals with how the utterances of the speaker may have influenced public perception that would have perhaps led to his dismissal. But ultimately, the crux of the matter is the conduct of the speaker. It is about constitutional impediment. With regards to the dismissal, the executive mayor does have a sole prerogative legislatively and in law to
Mm-hmm.
appoint and dismiss his committee. So I don't want us to mix those two issues.
Mm. All right.
Yeah.
I think that's very important that you make sure that there's a distinction between the two.
Yes.
But just generally, what do you think this case says about the overall legal and ethical standards in municipal governance, particularly when it comes to public officials facing legal allegations?
Yeah. So when it comes to allegations, I think the constitution or the rule of law is quite clear that you are innocent until proven guilty. Um, Being in the space, politicians know. In fact, I think let me refrain from from that. I'd want to say that being in the political space, there's a whole lot of allegations that politicians level against each other, and it's only until such allegations have been proven that you could then move to the next step and say, but you have done X, Y, and Z, proven before the courts of law. Councillor Gwamanda is yet to be vindicated by the courts of law, so it would be premature to preempt such allegations being true or false.
All right. I think we're going to leave it there for now. Anisa, thank you so much for giving us your time. Really, really appreciate it. And just before I let you go, the former mayor, when was the last time you had any kind of contact with him? Is he in good spirits?
No, he's definitely in good spirits. You know how he's always in good spirits, Selilo.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Anisa Mazimpaka, spokesperson of the former mayor of the city of Johannesburg, Kabelo Gwamanda, who's currently fighting for his job back. Thank you so much, Anisa. I'm sure we'll be chatting to you in the not so distant future as the story continues to develop. There you go. This has been Salam Media Highlights with myself, Salalo Makwidiri. We're going to leave it there for now. We'll see you again next week, Friday. Goodbye.